Well, we're here today at a random beach in Maine. I'm on my vacation. There's some rocks here on this side of the beach. I went away from the people. And the first day I was wearing one set of swim trunks, and the next day I wore another, and then today I'm wearing the first one again. So I've been carrying on the first and second day, which is today, I've been carrying a knife in my pocket, and I went in the water both days. And that knife is the Buck Vantage Select Small. It's wet, but to me it shows no signs of rusting, which is cool because it's been in my wet shorts pocket for a while. Still works fine. Not rusting at all. The liners, though, not sure if those are a little rusty at all. Yeah, it does look like they are, but I'm okay with that. I can rinse it off with clean water. But I just wanted to show you that, the blade, the most important part, hasn't been rusting. And I've gone in about 2 times each day. So I just wanted to show you that. It doesn't need to be a fancy Spyderco stainless or rust-proof knife. One of these will work. You can carry around one of those in your pocket, amongst a bunch of other knives too. Alright, that's all I wanted to show you today. Hello, so I wanted to continue my video about this knife, and I left off talking about how I was carrying it around in the water. And after I got back, I wanted to make sure it was all rinsed and cleaned, so I put it in a cup of soap and water, and then I took it out and let it dry, and the blade looks fine. There's like no rust on it. The pocket clip looks fine. There's like no rust on it. But then if you all around the liners, I don't know if you can see that well, but the liners, there's rust around the stop pin, rust on the liners, pretty much everywhere. I mean, not the whole surface, but maybe I'll have to take some pictures and put those in it. But there is rust on and around the liners. So, yes, the blade is fine, but I guess not everything else is stainless steel. Or it could be, but stainless steel will still rust, especially in salt water. But it's no H1 steel, that's for sure. So just wanted to update you on that. I'm going to take this apart and clean it all. Probably I'll use a little Comet and water and soap, and then oil it all back up. So that's that. Oh wait, maybe now it's focusing. Alright, there we are. Hello. So this is going to continue the videos, the 2 other videos of this knife. So I took this to a beach in Maine, got it all rusty. It's rusty. It hasn't really gotten any worse. So I'm going to take it apart and clean it. So I got a cup of water, some gun bore cleaner, that may help, lube, some oil, some thread locker, some Comet for the rust. I've heard that works, so I'm going to try that out. So I believe there's more screws underneath these 2 screws that we see here that are for holding on this the scales to the sides, the handles. Looks like that's the one. Huh, how's that look, huh? Is this focusing? So, not like super rusty, but I mean I do see some rust in there. There's thread lock on that, so I'll put thread lock back on it afterwards. Maybe a magnetic one would help, but a magnetic one of these so I could pull out the screws, because I'm left. There it goes. So this one kind of has some rust on it too, if I don't lose it. Yeah, so there's more screws in there that these are hiding. So I'm still gonna have to get this guy off. So far all the same size. Oh wow, okay. Look at that. So scales do not like salt water. Should be pretty easy once I got it all taken apart though. So I tried taking this apart before, but I didn't take it apart all the way. Come on. There we go. That's cool. So that's how it locks. I had no idea. Well, there's one washer. I'm gonna keep unscrewing here. Now some knives are different than others, or they have different, well, that's a stupid statement. Some knives have different sized hex heads throughout the knife, like the pocket clips will be one thing, and then the pivot will be another thing. But there we go. That's it, apart. That's just a pin there. But as you can see, there's like no rust on the blade. It's just dirty. So the blade is good steel. Looks pretty sweet. But same with the pocket clip. The pocket clip held up. That stuff is just, it's rusty here because it was touching this metal. So, but there's a breakdown of that. And these are the two, these look like copper washers for the easy friction here. Metal on metal. Alright. Maybe it would be good to let this them kind of soak in the Comet water here. Well, that's working nice. So yeah, this Comet stuff works pretty well. I think that that just shows you how much. Well, we know this is like stainless steel at least, or some kind of nice coating on this. So I'm just gonna let these sit for a little bit. While I go work on another project. And I'll get back to showing you how this is all going. So it's been a little time now. Maybe that's helped it kind of soak in maybe. I do have some really fine sandpaper too, some 700 and 1000. Maybe that could help too. There may be some damage here that I can't undo, but it's looking a lot better, that's for sure. Maybe toothpaste would help too. Yeah, there definitely may be some unrepairable damage. But I don't think it's all that bad. Could be worse. We know plastic can't rust. It can, it can be stained, but we're good here for sure. I'll continue this later. It's dinner time. Alright, hey there. So we're back. Cleaned up all the pieces. Let's see if I can put it all back into working condition. And if I remember how to do it the right way. So you can see there is the discoloration in the metal, and I was scrubbing at this stuff, and that seems to be salt water eating away at it, which isn't good, but that's how we learn. So, as I recall, we start with these. But I thought this was kind of interesting, the way that this fit together, and the way that they made a smooth knife with a smooth circular thing here. I thought that was well done, because that is the stopping pin, which is cool and interesting. I didn't thought that they would do that. Props for them doing that for sure. Let's say we had some oil though. This is trickier than I anticipated. Maybe a little oil will help it keep it in its place. I don't know if I would want to do this with an automatic knife. That would be a lot to deal with. So now I think I can screw these in. But it's pretty simple, this knife. 1, 2, 3, pivot, and then the stop. Pretty good. Pretty good. All there is now this guy here. That's that. So I think those were copper bushings. They weren't brass. That I'm pretty confident of. These little suckers are. I don't think they're really gonna come loose. They could, but they're really easy to tighten. I don't need to take the scales off to tighten the ones underneath. So I took this apart, cleaned it, got a lot of the rest off. That comment works pretty good. It would have been nicer to have some more abrasive paper. It's a pretty simple construction. It's just a little awkward getting it all in its place, aligned. The blade was magnetic too, which is interesting. I don't remember making it magnetic. Probably gonna have to. That's pretty good. Never mind. That's very tight. It's pretty centered though. Better. Put this pocket clip on. This is pretty deep carry though. I love this. There's not too many knives that I have that are super deep. I think there's only a few. But there's kind of some things that I notice about when they're really deep in your pocket. Is they're all going to be attached at the end somehow, right? If it's a deep pocket clip, it'll stick into a slot or it'll be like this. But when you put it in your pocket and you look down on it, what are you going to see? You're going to see this really fat, long thing that's like that wide. So how wide is that? As wide as pretty much from there to there. So instead of having a knife that's this, it's kind of that. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but I just thought that it kind of, because there's a big flat metal shiny thing here, at least with this knife, that when you put it in your pocket, it's kind of easier to see that. That may not be the goal. Not bad. I'm gonna need to loosen that a little bit. It's pretty good in center, actually. There you go. Cleaned it. This didn't need any cleaning. It was definitely the liners. The screws, this pin, this butt were all pretty good. And the screws and this pocket clip were all pretty good. It was just the liners. So they had quality washers, that spacer, the end plate, pocket clip, the screws, those were all fine. But the plastic kind of trapped in the moisture up against the liners, and maybe those liners have more steel in them, or I'm not sure what the ratios would be, the ingredients for this steel, but this blade wasn't the issue, which is good. That's, the most important part, I'd say. It's the blade. Because without a blade, you don't really have a knife, you just have a handle. Well, thanks for watching. This should conclude my 3 videos. Here we are.